Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Jasmine, how are you doing today?
Good. Happy Monday.
Today, I'm excited. Today, we're launching a new segment to our podcast, and we're asking fan or listener questions. I'm excited about this because it really gets to the root of what we're here for to help people scale their businesses. Do you agree?
I do. I think these are really poignant.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Our first question today is this: how can I balance a 9 to 5 job while launching my business? Miss Jasmine, what are your thoughts?
I hate this question. This question makes me mad. I that question. Okay. So truly, the thing is about when people say I need to be able to balance. How do I balance my 9 to 5 job and launch my business? Is that's not how it works. Building a business comes in waves. Like the same way your 9 to 5 might have a busy season, like year end closing or just before the summer sale or whatever. Your business is going to have those waves as well. So you're not always going to have balance. So I think what's more important is making sure that you're setting aside a time every day for you or for if it's meditating, yoga, the gym, making sure you eat a good meal. That's the priority. And then the spin of the building the business is what it is. And again, that varies, right? You're never going to have perfect balance. This question makes me insane. You're just not. And part of business mindset is being able to find solutions in complicated spaces. So if you're like, okay, I can't spend 4 hours every day at the end of the day learning how to build my business. Okay, can you just do Saturdays and then the rest of the week you're a little calmer because you're not working on it, but you do one full day on the weekend. But you have to be able to come with those solutions or your business won't succeed anyway because you don't have the mindset. That's why it makes me crazy.
No, I 100% agree. Listen, life isn't perfect. Okay, you have to either do something and something can happen. You get some results. Do nothing. Nothing's going to happen. That's guaranteed. You can't even win the lottery without buying a ticket. Okay, so the 9 to 5 balance, you can't do it. It can't be done because you want two different things. You want to balance your 9 to 5, which doesn't care about you at all. Doesn't do it doesn't. You're just there to solve a problem for them, and you get paid for it minimally. Your business is your baby, so really, you have to give your business. I have a friend of mine who's in the exact same issue right now. And I told her this: give your 9 to 5 what they are paying you for. Do not give them any more. Do not give them any more overtime. Do not give them any more of your exceeding your expectations because they don't care you're exceeding expectations. She was supposed to get a raise this year. They gave her some sob story about not giving it to her. So I said, so basically, got a free year from you. They got a free year of a raise from you by just telling you this sob story. So you have to give more balance to your business, if not in time, in mind, because that's your freedom.
That's what's going to get you out of the 9 to 5.
That's get you out of 9 to 5, and that's your freedom. And listen, every problem, for the most part, other than some health issues, can be solved with money. And the more you have, the better it is.
So when I started my business, I was working, I did two versions of this because I had to do it in two phases. One of the phases, I was working 9 to 5 and commuting an hour and a half each way. So that's now we're
Right,
7 to 6 or
right,
7 to 7 almost. 3 hours in the car every day. And I had two kids under the age of 3 and I didn't know how to code. I didn't know how to do anything I needed to do in my business. I taught myself Photoshop, coding, CSS, PHP, HTML, all digital marketing. I taught myself all of this stuff while also making time for the kids and my job and the commute and the whole thing.
correct.
And I found creative ways to do that. I found tapes to listen to in the car. I would
Yep.
call mentors on my drive home and be like, so if I had this problem with the website, what would that look like? And you find those moments to sneak it in. And then once in a while, I would be like, okay, you got to take the kids to your mom's house because I need a full day to figure
Right.
out. whatever I'm doing. But you find those places. But what I always did was there was always 30 minutes, it was always my lunch, no matter if it was Saturday, Sunday, or Tuesday, that I would just sit calmly outside, not multitask, and just have that moment for myself every day. So that's how you find balance. It's not, to your point, if you don't put the work in to build your business the way you put the work in to build your career, it's not going to happen.
Correct. Sorry. No, correct. And also, the thing
It's a
about it,
mindset limiting thing.
so and numbers don't lie. I tell people all the time, numbers don't lie. And back to your 9 to 5, if you're getting paid, I'm gonna throw a number out, a big number. If you're being paid right now $100,000 a year in salary
Yeah.
at your 9 to 5, the most you'll ever that your promotion that you may get that they're hanging over your head may give you extra 15, maybe even 20. Okay, maybe even 20. After tax and tags on a W-2, your life doesn't change.
Yeah.
Your phone bill is easy to pay, but you can't move. You can't save any money of substance. So your 9 to 5 is not giving you what you need, and it never will. It never will. Even a product manager at Apple who makes $850 a year, if that project goes under, he's now fired.
Yeah.
The 800 goes to zero, and he may not find another $800,000 a year job. The balance is this: the balance should be way towards yourself, towards your family, towards your future, and that's your business. Period. Point blank. Full stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew somebody who actually used to get an automatic 3% raise every year, and it took them like 3 years before it really made a difference on their paycheck.
Yeah.
Just because
And,
it put them into the next tax bracket a little bit.
and as I was telling her the other day, she makes 100 now. And I said, if they gave you $80,000 raise tomorrow, which is asinine, they wouldn't do it.
No.
They wouldn't do it. After you pay taxes and everything else, yeah, you make a couple more grand a month, whatever else. You can't move because the next apartment above, will be the whole $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
In a big city, you may get a new car. That's $800 right there a month.
Mm-hmm.
So your lifestyle won't change at all. You have a new car, but the same one you had before, just new. So you need to figure out a way to hedge your bets and quadruple what you're making. It'll take 10 years maybe, but for damn sure your job won't get you that.
Yeah, I think that plays into another truth that makes people give up before they get started in business, which is that you're already not making enough money. You're not
Yes.
making enough money for retirement, for emergencies, for a year of cancer treatment. Like we already are too close
Yes.
on what we're making to what we're going to need. So when we start thinking about these things, it becomes overwhelming and you think, okay, I'd have to make so much money in a second job that I'll be working around the clock. That's why questions like this come up because they're
Yeah.
thinking they're going to have to do both. They don't understand once you get the plate in the air of your business, now you're the only thing that will limit that scale.
Correct.
It's complete freedom. And so when you're looking for balance, it's because you think, I can't work 12-hour days my whole life. But that's not what you're signing up for. You're signing up for a few extra hours a day or a week for
Mhm.
6 months until
Mhm.
you get your head wrapped around things and you get things rolling and you get your clients up and going. That's the piece I think people miss.
Yeah. And again, back to what we were saying earlier before we got into our conversation. Online, you can create things in bulk on that Saturday
Yeah.
that runs throughout the week. And you need to answer a few questions. The easiest way to make money in this world right now, if I were to do it this way, it'll be online coaching, and that's it. Because if more than that person, they'll pay money to hire you.
Yeah.
Help them get to that point. I don't care if you're a gardener, if you're a landscaper, if you're an accountant if you're an accountant in the government, federal government accountant, you can say, listen, I'm an accountant for the federal government, or I was. I've recently released. I will help you do this. They'll pay you. They'll pay
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and you can quadruple your money.
Okay, but when you talk about solutions like that, I think where the disconnect for people is they think, okay, great, he had an idea for that, but that doesn't apply to me, or how do I do it? You don't apply the actual thing that Bobby just said. I want you to apply the mindset and the way of looking at the world that
Right.
Bobby just gave. That's the part that people need to hold on to. Because like I have people call me like, so how would I do this? I'm like, here's like 3 ways that you could do that. And they're like, but which one's the right way? I'm like, no, they will all get you there. Which one works for you? Which
Yes.
one you go, okay, 2 of those steps I already have. It makes sense to me. I only have to learn one of those 3 steps. That's the path you take. But it's
Yes.
always making your own path. And that reward is getting your own money and your own financial freedom. But too many people are scared to step off wrong that they don't end up stepping off onto the path at all or
Yeah.
off of the path. The path is like your 9 to 5.
Yeah. And something you said right there, the fact is, there is no wrong way. There is no wrong way. I realized this something also. There's not a course that I could sell you, Jasmine could sell you on earth that will get you from point A to point B by following that thing to the T. You have to kind of use your brain and say, this is a great idea. I'm going to use it this way.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, use it this way. Because I'm not the same as Jasmine and vice versa. Before this conversation earlier, we're discussing how to get traffic and sell product. I'm a big firm believer of advertising, and Jasmine is too, by the way. It's just not up front.
Right.
Not up front. I'm up front because honestly, that was my life for 20 years.
Mm.
I sold ads,
Yeah.
and I know they work. So if someone were to launch a new golf club back then, they had to advertise in 4 or 5 magazines to get traction.
Yeah.
And that's so I'm a big proponent of that. That's probably where my love for it comes from.
It's not that I'm against advertising. It's just I believe in testing organically first to get the most out of your advertising bucks. But I think that's in part because I work with businesses that have a set amount of advertising for the year. They can't, they have to, it's that whole, I don't know if this is the best analogy, but it's like the whole bleeding a stone. They have to get as much out of it as possible, which is why. So I had a teacher tell me you could only ever have 2 out of 3 things out of any kind of project. You can either have time, quality, or quantity. What was the other one? Oh my God, I forget what it is now. I have it written down too. Time, quality, or time, speed. Oh, or money. Oh my God. So you have to pick 2 of those options. So if you want something done fast and well, it's going to cost you. If you
Yes.
want something done fast, but you don't care if it's quality, then it's not going to be as expensive. So you can only
Yeah.
mix and match 2 out of the 3
That's
categories.
a good point.
And advertisement feels that way to me. So
Yeah.
if you're going to advertise, but you have limited budget and you want quality, then you're going to need to take more time to experiment organically.
100%.
That's
100%.
kind of how that pulls in.
Okay. Like you're saying, if you don't have $4,000 to $5,000 to burn, let's say, you shouldn't advertise up front until you know the messaging is guaranteed to work.
Yeah.
Then you put the 4,000 bucks in that you saved, and again, you save the money. You save the quarters. You save the Starbucks. You save the dinners
Yeah.
for 6 months. You'd be shocked what you save when you think about what you're spending.
Yes, that's true
You'd be
too.
really shocked. If there's Target, pass Target by, pass it by.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some shrimp for dinner. You know what? No shrimp today. We're going ground turkey because I need to
Mhm.
advertise so I can buy shrimp easier in 6 months.
Yeah.
Again, it's all just everything is delayed. It's the more you balance your 9 to 5, launching your business, you're delaying your success and your extra revenue for your family. That's it.
Yes.
Point blank. All right. That question's done because we went through it a lot. So
Well,
let's get to our next question. What? Go on.
no, I'm sorry. I just really fast. So just if you take nothing away from that whole moment we just gave you, it's that the mindset will get you to where you're going versus trying to be some kind of balanced or
Yeah.
version of yourself that fit into the 9 to 5 job. It won't work. You have to be able to update.
Your 9 to 5 job does not love you.
But then the mindset of the 9 to 5 job is what I'm saying will
Yes.
not build your business.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yes, that.
Okay, what you got? What's your other question?
Let's go to the next question. Let's go with this. Here's a good one. How much money I need to start a business, and how can I bootstrap it?
Ooh, how much money do you need? Honestly, I truly, so you could start it for zero for the first 30 days. That's the short answer, which is not, I've had people do even when they had money because they could test out apps and technology and things that worked for them so that they didn't just buy the most expensive or what they think is like the best in the industry. I've had people do a couple of weeks of testing. The lowest I think you can start a business for is going to be like 500 to 1,000, somewhere in there, but not all at once. So if you're doing it by paycheck, for example, that's manageable.
I agree with the zero, and I'm gonna give you an example. Let's make an example. We're here. We have some time. So let's say this. Let's start a business right now. What do you want to start? An accounting business? Let's start. I got a one. Let's start an online accounting business for $0.
Okay.
Okay. I'm an accountant. I work at a small accounting firm. They're doing layoffs. I can smell it coming in the next 6 months or a year. What do? You start your business today for no money. You immediately set your socials up properly. Okay. Cost you no money. Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Next thing you do, you with AI now, you create your content calendar and start to talk and chat so people know that's what you do. Accounting.
Yeah.
$0. That's basically 10 minutes a day. That's all it takes you. Now you think, oh, I'm getting some traffic. This is wild. What do I do now? Offer free consulting for 1 hour. Or no, excuse me, for 30 minutes. You have the time after work. You take calls from 6 to 8:35, 8:50, right? Three
Mhm.
calls a day. Takes nothing. So now you're talking to 3 people a day times 5 days. That's 15 people. Out of those 15 people, now you haven't spent a dime yet, right? You haven't
Right.
spent a dime. Out of those 15 people, I guarantee you, if you're as competent and as smart as you are, you can close 3 of those deals to help someone for a month to get their books right.
Yes.
You can hire. I will pay for it because I don't have an account any longer. 'Cause I don't have a big business anymore, so I'm not paying that money. So I don't have a small business accountant that just takes my all my crap and make it look nice and be ready for the end of the year. All right. So
Yeah.
right there, you started a business with $0. Zero. What
Yeah.
are you doing every day?
You're not wrong.
You know.
I, yes. I think when I say for my first social media client, I started with something really small, but I also offered what I gave them was really small. And I didn't have anything in place for that. Any apps, anything. I was just working in an office on social media and people started asking for their side businesses.
You don't need the apps. You don't need the funnels right now. You don't need to spend $300 a month on
Yeah.
stuff that people want to sell you. You can start today, just as I said, going on Instagram or LinkedIn and say, "Hi, I'm Bobby Harris. I'm a 20-year accountant. I would love to help your small business XYZ do this and this." I'm not sure what accountants do,
Yeah.
but I'll give you half hour free consultation, and that's it. You have the time.
Yeah.
Talk to a business owner that may pay you afterwards. Because what you give them for a half hour is not going to help them.
But what it does do is it proves your expertise.
Exactly.
I know people who don't want to do those, and I'm like, it shows what you know about their particular industry too. It's huge, actually.
And the thing about it, I'm doing this. My program I'm selling is I'm giving. I have time. I'm here all day long doing. I don't say nothing. I'm all here all day long just doing junk. I'll take a phone call and chat with someone for a half hour. Why wouldn't I? And they'll hear my voice. They'll see my picture on the Zoom, and they'll hear my expertise.
Yeah,
They'll buy from that alone. Know that I'm not a bot, and they'll know that I'm not some idiot who bought a course to try to sell a course. I know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
I know what I'm talking about, and you hear it immediately. Same thing with you. You may sell the same thing these other people are selling. But once they get on the phone with you and not XYZ, they know, wait a minute, she's smart. I'm not smart. And this, so I'm going to pay her. So to answer your question, start with nothing. Make your content, ask for help. I'm asking me, offer your help. That's it. $0.
And then most people, when they're new, they give away too much help. So that's where the 30-minute piece
Yeah.
comes in.
And then you get that person for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, first of all, the first 10 is chatting,
Yeah.
right? Who are you? Oh, hey, how you doing? The last 10 minutes is like laughing because you got to know the person. So you only give them 15 minutes of your time. And it's that specific problem, it's the overall problem. It won't help them solve a problem. So you're not giving them anything, but you're giving them like, this person's an expert. I want to hire them for $500 a month, $1,000 a month to handle this, get this away from me. Yeah, yeah, that's it. And you can also do the same thing on an outgoing basis. Email all the HVAC guys in your city, all the plumbers, all the small business people, and say, listen, don't lose money. I can help you save and make money on your business by making sure you're doing everything right.
Yeah.
That's it. How many landscape companies in your town or whatever you are doing their books right?
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
can.
Or making sure your expenses are good. Making sure. So the fact is, you don't need any money at all.
Yeah, I think that's the short
Yeah,
answer. You don't need anything at all.
don't need money at all. I mean,
Be be really wary of anybody who says that you have to buy anything specific in order to be successful. The only thing I would say is legal filing. That's the
of
only.
course, of
Well, I'm just
course.
saying, like, so when you talk about starting a business, that's why I said the first 30 days and then it bumps up because you need to make sure your filing is in place.
I'm
So,
assuming you already have an LLC and you have a bank account that you opened up with $100, and then you have a business.
yeah.
So let's go with that. Okay, great. All right. Do you have anything else for that question?
No.
All right. Let's go to our next question. I'm looking at them right now, so sorry if I'm delayed. I already touched that one. Oh, I already touched that one too. Sorry. Is personal branding really necessary in 2025? I'll give my views and Jasmine give hers.
Do
Jasmine first.
you want to go first?
No, because I am against personal branding.
Ooh, bring this. Okay, so the thing about personal branding is we buy from businesses. We don't buy from businesses. We buy from people, not businesses. If I'm going to buy from just a business and I don't care who runs it, I'm going to Target. I'm going to H&R Block. I'm going to a big national brand. If
Yeah.
I care about who I'm buying from, I care about the person. The caveat to that is it doesn't mean you have to have a personal brand on social media, which I think is something people have been told they need. It's not that, but you do have to have a good personal brand. It's like personal credit. It's the same way it was in the 50s, where if people in town didn't like you or didn't talk well about you, you didn't sell as many things. That still applies. It's just now online and online communities and on online socials. So it helps your business to have it online. It's not required, but you have to have some sort of personal branding. But the personal branding doesn't need to be a made up version. It's not an influencer moment. It's about actually just being authentically who you are and being real about that and connecting with people.
Okay, so yeah, I respect that and connecting people. The only thing I say about personal branding that I don't like is that you have to do it, meaning you're not separate from your business, depending on how you do it, obviously. And I see people all the time who get burned out because their revenue is tied to their personal brand. And also, some people may not like you for whatever reason, be it for whatever reason. There's a lot of reasons people may not like, a group people may not like you. And so if you can create a company that seems the what's the word I want to use, excuse me. The messaging from the company you're making, if that's your personal, if that's how you are personally, that's your personal. You bring your personal brand into your company, and then when people talk to you, that's your personal brand. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's good, but there's different ways of doing it. And it's not all about being the face of everything, because at that point, that's your job.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I agree with that. And I think that comes out of where we just came from the influencer
Mhm.
era. I always
Yeah,
reference the Kardashian era. That's really how people did it and how they were really told to do it. And I just, as consumers, we don't want that anymore.
yeah,
We
no,
just don't.
no. That's it. I really believe that becoming a content creator over an influencer by far, by far will make you more money and keep you happier, keep you healthier in the long run.
Yeah.
That way, the trolls won't attack you every 5 seconds. Trolls, they can attack your business, but they shouldn't affect you. If they say your shirt's ugly, you have a big nose, that won't. If a lot of people can't take that, or they can't take it, the bullying, and they can't take it. I can't take it, the bullying. Period. I never could. When I was a kid, got in fights all the time. You say one word to me, you get knocked out. I can't take it.
I respect that.
So don't let a person, don't let not having a personal brand affect your business. You can win either way.
Yeah, I agree with that. But when you think about personal brand, it's no longer the influencer. It's more of like how you present yourself on
Yeah,
LinkedIn or at in-person networking events. Those are all your personal brand. A brand isn't your logo and your color. So when we're talking about a personal brand, you're not building a whole different visual
right,
brand. A brand is how people talk about you when you're not in the room. How
correct.
people feel about you when they're like, oh yeah, Jazz, she does socials. And they're like, oh yeah, Deborah also does socials. And how they compare the two of us in their head as to what type of social media people we are. That's your personal brand, and that's why it matters.
I'll tell you a quick story of that one. So, this is years ago. I had a client, and in person, he was not perfect. He was very smart, articulate, this, that, and the other. Then we went to play golf one weekend, and this is for he was an internet provider, and I was going to use him for something. I was going to buy his product, and then he was in person, on the phone, Zoom, great. Then I went on a golf course with him, and then he is a foul mouth, misogynistic, all this other stuff. I'm like, you're not getting my money. You're not getting my money now, because that's who you are. This is who you are. Right here on the golf course, you're 8 drinks deep, and you're talking all this stuff. That's your personal brand, and now they want to buy from you. That phone call with you in a nice suit and tie, that's not who you are. So you're right. As long as your company represents who you are, that's slash with a personal corporate brand.
Yeah.
Like
And
you're like Jasmine. I've never met Jasmine in real life other than the Zooms, and I know for a fact she is who she is. If I met her in person in Vegas at a conference, I would not expect some wild, crazy lady.
yes.
This is her person. This is her brand. Sitting in her house with a name behind her on a sign and being truthful. And that's
Yeah.
it.
That's interesting. I agree with that. That's funny. I just had somebody a minute ago, like my last call before this actually was somebody saying, no, I just want to meet with you real quick before I let you into my group. And I was like, okay, that's weird. But they've been like overrun with bots. And so I respect it, right? But they wanted to just hop on a quick call to make sure I was real. It was fascinating. I think that's becoming more and more of an issue also, just as a side thing.
Yeah, and you get people from you get not bots, but scammers that want into your group to scam everyone else in the group.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You don't want that. So your personal brand doesn't have to be what you think it is as an influencer. It's just basically putting yourself into your business and your business being that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's a good person and everything else. All right, next question. Let's go with.
No, we have to, can I pick this up in like 20 minutes? I have to jump on a call for this
No, no,
client
no.
on their website.
I'm just been a half an hour, so we're good.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but
So hold on a second. So everyone, thanks for coming today to listen to our podcast. Next week we'll have 5 more questions. Thank you very much. Have a great day, guys.